Today is 30th of August. Market trade a trend day on increased volume up 38.3442. Now it's actually approaching this resistance here at about 3445. I'd like to see whether it can consistently trade above that. We have a high volume resistance at about 3500. Support is actually at this pivot low here, and that is about 3370. Now if you take a look at the 1 minute charts, it's pretty obvious that actually market was trading at this level here. It was up about 28 points before it was actually matched very high at 3442. So we just have to actually discount the matching. Now by and large, actually we have seen very strong move here, and building on these momentums, markets actually continue to move up. So I'd like to see whether it can challenge this resistance here at just below 3500. Let's take a look at the US market. S&P 500, this is the weekly charts. Notice actually we can see the shortening of the bar here. So that indicates losing momentums, and it's not surprised to see a bear bar. We'd like to see what happened today itself. If you take a look at the daily chart, this is what happened. After a strong run-ups, it actually loses momentum and be trading sideways. So it may well continue to actually pull back. Now, this is quite clear from the Nasdaq Composite Index. Notice actually trade a small body here and followed by a reversal bar. Again, on the daily charts, it's quite clear we have a wide range reversal bar here, and it's quite threatening, and we are likely to actually continue to see pullback. Now, by and large, the broad market itself is actually quite resilient. You can see from the NYSE Composite Index. So this is what happens. It's actually making a big high, a new high, but trading a small range bar. So again, from here, likely to actually pull back. So tech stocks remains the weaker sectors. So this is something we just have to take notes. This is the Brent crude. It's actually stuck in the trend range here, and this is an important resistance level at about 81.50. So this level here is important to watch. By and large, it's probably likely to actually continue to trade in a sideways fashions. The 10-year Treasury yield, after a very decisive break, we see actually a classic throwback, and at this point in time it's actually stuck in the trend range just below this downward trend line. Now after these consolidations, it's likely to continue to move downwards, and that will be favorable for equity market, and in particular the REITs and the capital intensive industry. Let's take a look at our local markets. This is Singtel. Now over here we have a dividend gap, so if you add back our dividends, was actually trading sideways, and for the last three sessions itself we see very strong upward move, and today's actually closed at its high. Again, this is actually matching high on a very high volume, so look for a pullback here and look for setups to go long. XGX stock is trading at small range bars on increased volumes, likely to pull back. During a pullback, look for setups to go long. Despite strong sentiments, assets actually trading sideways. By and large, it's actually a very neat formation. This is a contraction setup. Bar high here is at 373. Notice the sideways move are accompanied with very low volume, so that is a healthy sign. Now SIA is a less preferred stocks. We'll just discuss to help to appreciate and understand which are the better bets. So if you look at SIA itself, so after a very severe sell down, notice as we see reductions in the range, and this is indications that the selling is probably done, and we see a bounce from here, and this is a very obvious resistance here at about 640. So the bet is actually off for the stocks, and it's better to trade sets instead. Jardine CNC, the stock has been actually inching upwards, and we have very nice sideways move. Like to look for decisive break above this high here of 27.87. Just be mindful when you approach this prior high here. Hong Kong Land. Yesterday itself we have a very nice contraction breakouts, and today it trade a long dated doji, likely to pull back. During the pullback, look for setup. Eventually like to see the stock take out the high here of 381. Yang Zijiang, now this stock is quite lackluster. Over here we have a very nice bar here, testing this resistance. They were looking for a shallow pullback, but unfortunately did not materialize. And in fact the retracement is actually quite deep, and it's actually trading down below 1326 SMA. We generally do not like to trade stock this way, where the 1326 are not rising and not diverging. So again, this is likely to be a consolidation with a very big swing. We'd like to see the stock eventually quiet down and look for eventual break. Let's take a look at the bank stocks. Now the bank stock, by and large, the moving average are not in orders, but we just take advantage of this strong move, the momentum built in this move here, and followed by this pullback. You notice a series of sideways bound, very low volume, and today it actually break on the upside. So again, I'd like to see a follow through from here. You can look for setups during subsequent pullback. Now, unlike the other two bank stocks, DBS is actually a preferred of the three. If you take a look at DBS, it's actually approaching this resistance level here. So generally, we do not like to trade below an immediate resistance. So again, today we see strong bar here on increased volume. It may well moved up, but the odds of a retracement is also pretty high when it actually cleared this gap here. UOB is trading within this gap here, and this other end of the gap is actually a resistance level. So again, this is actually less preferred stocks among the three banks. Centurion, now mentioned in one of the postings that actually the stocks began to trade narrow range, and this is what we experience and likely to pull back. So we experience the first bear bar here. Now I'd like to see it closing out of daylight and perhaps form a base and look for eventual break on the upside.